Hey, what's up, guys? It's Synchro here back again, and we're back for some more DBcember top 12 sagas by TeamFourStar. Last video I saw was 9 and 8. Yeah, 9 and 8. 9 was Boo Saga, and number 8 was the King Piccolo or Piccolo Daimao saga. Yeah, so far they've made good points about the arcs. Even though I think the Piccolo arc was one of in my higher in my rankings. I mean, yeah, I don't have anything to disagree about, like what their certain picks or like nitpicks, I should say. But yeah, let's see what we see in this next couple of entries.
7.
You're really not just gonna use World Martial Arts Tournament, huh?
Nope. I've decided I've been too easy on you dub-only watchers. Besides, y'all already know how to say Tenkaichi Budokai. Even if you
higher
have been
ranked
saying it the wrong
sagas.
way around.
Could be worse. He could have used number 1 under Heaven Martial Arts Gathering.
Guys are being pretentious.
Faithful.
Pretentious aside, the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament is technically the 3rd tournament in the series, after the 21st and Fortune Teller Babas, respectively. Toriyama had his work cut out for him to make this one stand out, and he does so in an interesting way.
While Goku maintains his role as the main character, the story doesn't so much center around his development, but rather around Kame Sennin, with this being the last fight we'd see the old turtle hermit take part in the original manga, and Ten Shinhan, student of an opposing school and a troubled, struggling soul.
I love when Toriyama explores the internal struggles of his characters. Between his sublime expression work, his penchant for building drama, and Dragon Ball's fascinating world full of possibilities, it's a shame we don't see as much moral complexity in the rest of his work as we do here, because Ten Shinhan's journey through this arc is something special. It also provides a fantastic avenue for Roshi to finally pass the torch to his beloved students and emphasizes the strengths of his teachings by using Ten Shinhan and the Crane School as a comparison.
Much like with the previous tournament, the qualifying rounds are a pretty light affair. It serves to establish our character roster and gives us a peek at the advancements our established cast made in the time skip after the previous arc. It also gives us a peek into the characters of Ten Shinhan and Chaozu, who manipulate the numbers of the drawing process so the matches can play out how they see fit. And then, our three-eyed antagonist lets us all know just how vicious he can be.
Yep.
Dragon Ball is known for some brutal moments, but there's something so unsettling about Ten Shinhan breaking Yamcha's leg, largely because it's so unnecessary. I mean, he didn't have to go that far. Yamcha had already all but lost the match, but this wasn't about beating Yamcha. It was about sending a message. The Ten Shinhan is not to be taken lightly, and he has every intent on proving his superiority, even if it means ruining Kame Sennin's pupils.
It's hard to believe that after this devastating match, we jump immediately into a gag match with Roshi versus a reverse werewolf. It admittedly feels a bit like filler, but the punchline is pretty fantastic, and it provides some levity leading into Chaozu versus Krillin, which actually rides the line of being a gag match itself. While the tricks and techniques Chaozu uses to put Krillin on the ropes are both quirky and dangerous, the climax of it is an honest laugh. There aren't many matches like this in Dragon Ball, and I think there's a lot to appreciate in terms of creativity on every level.
There's also Pumplet. But it's the next and last 3 matches that matter most, starting off with Roshi versus Ten Shinhan. Whereas in the last tournament, Roshi's primary goal was to keep Goku humble and hungry, here he's looking to change the heart of a talented young man traveling down a dark path. He breaks out all the stops, and even when Ten Shinhan threatens the lives of him and the audience with a surprise Kamehameha, he still pushes through. He wants to drive home that the Turtle School won't be so easily demolished, before leaping off the stage, knowing that it's not his place to defeat Ten Shinhan.
But before that fateful match can happen, we finally get Goku versus Krillin. Sort of surprising that it took so long before we finally got a real fight between these two.
That was a real
choreographed, highlighting all of Toriyama's strengths. And in the Japanese version of the anime,
even though
it's
I feel
accompanied by Mesase Tenkaichi, one of my favorite insert songs in the series.
Back.
Even though we all know that Goku was never going to lose this match, it's still exciting, satisfying,
like you
and
knew
even touching
Krillin was
to see
gonna
these
lose,
two
but you
rivals
still
finally
rooted for
go
him.
toe-to-toe. These are two friends having fun, going all out, putting all their hard work to the test.
And while their match is happening, Roshi confronts Ten Shinhan one last time. He makes the point that Ten just isn't the kind of killer he longs to be. That deep down, there is an ember of goodness burning bright enough to make him doubt the ambition of his master and his own misguided aspirations. This moment marks the turning point for his character, who has sworn to end Goku for what he did to Tao Pai Pai.
Using Mercenary Tao to fuel the Crane School's fervor is a fantastic pull on Toriyama's part. It ties Goku directly into the conflict, instead of it merely being a matter of opposing schools. It's personal for Tien, who's idolized the assassin. When they step into the ring, he doesn't give Goku an inch. We actually
just
talked
thought of
in
something.
depth about this fight in our top 12 fights.
Trying to
We're at
get
rank
revenge
number
for
9 in the
Tao Pai
entire
Pai.
series. It's
kind of
doozy.
like
and over the course of the match,
the game
Tien
12
Shinhan
minutes.
is forced to not
I've seen
only confront
gameplay of it,
Goku, but his friend,
but
his master.
the police officer who liked
It blindsided a lot
who
of
was
people
like
when
the
Goku ultimately lost this match.
the police
After
guy
his loss at the
was
21st Tenkaichi Budokai,
getting
it seemed like a
revenge
sure
for
bet that Goku would firmly grasp
the
the
girl's
W this time.
father,
However, Goku's the first to touch outside the
who was
ring,
like a
and Ten
father to
Shinhan
him.
goes home the victor. And honestly, this subversion is superb. Because the real victory here was pulling Ten Shinhan away from the dark side. And it's the perfect setup for the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai,
that
where
arc was
Goku's
good.
third try would ultimately be the charm.
Spoilers?
For Dragon Ball?
I don't
Yeah,
know, you
for real.
guys always made it a running joke, so I just wanted to do one.
Funny enough, it seems like we haven't had much bad to say about this arc. So why is it so far down on the list?
I think it comes down to scale. This is the shortest arc in all of Dragon Ball by chapters, and the entirety of it plays out as a tournament,
So they don't
meaning
really have
there's
that,
little variation
like,
in environment, and the scope of the story is limited, which isn't
negative
necessarily bad.
things about
This
it.
arc is a very personal affair with amazing fights and effective melodrama, but many of Dragon Ball's best sagas have higher stakes and a grander scale, which also aren't inherently positive qualities either, mind you.
except for
Personally, I'm a
Buu
fan
Saga.
of shorter, more focused stories with no wasted motions. The Buu Saga and Tournament of Power are great examples of bloat, with pacing issues aplenty.
But it's hard to ignore how Toriyama would go on to write further compelling, epic
Tien
narratives
versus
with
Goku
pathos
fight, the
and
first one was
prophecy,
good.
and more variation and complexity, even in
The second was
other
also good.
tournaments.
Yeah, like the Universe 6 tournament.
No, he obviously meant the Otherworld tournament.
Actually, he probably means the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai.
Wait! The Toy-San Tournament of Champions.
That thing had a name?
That was its name?
Number 6.
Just in time for
Red
Christmas.
Ribbon.
This entry comes timed with a ribbon.
Yeah.
It's the most colorful saga in all of Dragon
Like I said
Ball,
before,
and
I
it's
think it's one like
our hearts.
the
With
most
21st
underrated
Tenkaichi Budokai before this,
sagas
Toriyama
from
would
the
slowly put
original
more
Dragon
emphasis
Ball.
on action and drama in the story. Luckily, we first get what I consider one of the absolute best sagas of Dragon Ball. This is actually my
There you
number
go.
4 pick, and honestly, in my top 5, the margins are slim.
The Red Ribbon Army as an antagonistic force is a very different animal from most of Dragon Ball.
I feel like
Though
people
several
don't
other
like it as
sagas
much
would have
because
fewer but incredibly
it doesn't have
powerful
like that
antagonists,
martial arts
many of them inhuman. This is a whole army
aspect,
of what are mostly just normal
but it's more of
soldiers
like
with different levels of skill, all in service of a Napoleonic leader. Now, of course, this
I don't know,
is
it's just like
Toriyama, so
drama
our,
and
quote, normal human
action.
enemies, unquote, can still paralyze people with their minds.
And then I
or
think like the
throw and
characters
ride
like the
pillars like they're
Colonel
speedrunning
Silver,
Breath of the Wild.
General
The
Blue,
saga also clocks in at 59 chapters,
Violet.
more than the last two before it combined.
Some people didn't
which
like those
means
characters.
It has plenty of opportunity to explore multiple locations, encounter many different allies and enemies, and build the story into an epic climax. Though,
Bora and
epic
Upa
isn't
were good
exactly
about
the word
in this
I
arc.
use, because while Toriyama gives us an amazingly fun and fresh story that never sits still for a moment, the payoff is more on the emotional level in the Fortune Teller Baba arc rather than a cathartic level via the Red Ribbon Army.
Not to say that there isn't plenty of fantastic action to go around. Between Goku's perilous assaults on Muscle Tower, the deadly pursuit of General Blue, and 2 incredible fights with Tao Pai Pai, you'll never find yourself bored. But in the case of Commander Red and Staff Officer Black, the actual climactic battle with the titular Red Ribbon isn't much to write home about, even if the events leading into it are some of my favorite moments in Dragon Ball. I'm sorry, but the reveal of Commander Red's ambitions being a product of his insecurities, only for Black to shoot him dead in response? How is this not in our
got
top
capped.
3?
Beyond the action, there's also so many fantastic character elements throughout. To call the Red Ribbon Army a colorful cast would be, well, incredibly corny, but also correct. Suave to silly, menacing
Murasaku.
to murderous, ruthless to useless. It's just so much fun to watch Goku work his way through that rainbow, and even make some friends along the way.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite Frankenstein's monster-inspired Robro, Ader. I'm actually surprised he's never mentioned in the Android arc, especially considering that Android 16 is essentially Ader 2.0. A times 2.
It's also worth noting that this may be one of the
Nice.
funniest sagas in the entire franchise. Murasaki's the best, and I will never get over the scene with the Amiibo. I'll be on my deathbed, and my death rattle will be me giggling like an idiot. Also, the Dr. Slump crossover is hilarious, adorable, and an all-around treat.
Yeah, I think this is the one part that a lot of people did not like at all. Was the
But we'd be
Penguin
remiss
Village
not to talk more in depth about
section?
Mercenary Tao. As anyone who's seen our villains list will know, we have a particular soft spot for this fashion-forward assassin.
bye.
And no, it's not a hole in our heads made by his tongue.
That introduction may be one of the most memorable in Dragon Ball. He literally tongues a man to death.
And
There's a
he's single.
Spanish,
He murders
Latino,
Bora in cold
like
blood,
comedian
stumps Goku,
that looks like him.
kisses out with his balls like the world's deadliest veterinarian. And this sets up for Goku climbing Kaden's tower and provides him with a new goal besides stopping the Red Ribbon Army. Revive Bora, Koopa's father.
As we mentioned in the
Real one, Goku.
the sacred holy water is a fake out. The actual effort to retrieve it was the real training, conveying the moral there are no shortcuts to strength, which the franchise would frequently and aggressively undermine as time went on.
Damn it.
It's an incredibly simple yet effective way for Goku to make the necessary strides in order to win his critical rematch against Tao.
This saga is also where we're introduced to the Sensu, magical beings that return you to full health. These would become a staple of the series.
They say
and
that
luckily, Toriyama
they
would do his
fill you
best to
up
use
for
them
like
as
10
a
days
way
so you don't
keep
have
the
to
plot
eat.
moving rather than waste
But
resolve
Goku still
conflict.
eats.
Because an instant undo button on major, even
That's-
mortal wounds could very easily have robbed the series of tension, as opposed to the Dragon Balls, which, never mind.
Goku would then assault the Red Ribbon base and win the day, dismantling the army and ending their siege. Whereas some folks consider this to be the end of the saga, some of us believe that it actually ends with the fortune teller Babalar, where Goku would find the final Dragon Ball necessary to wish back Bora, but also meet his grandfather one last time.
I love this finale. While the lead up to Goku meeting his grandfather is mostly your average entertaining Dragon Ball comedy, complete with some choice manga panels, this reunion means a lot
Not
for
gonna lie,
Goku
when I
and
first
the
saw
audience. We see pure joy, love, and
tears.
nostalgia,
Just
and
tears.
it adds all that much more narrative weight to Goku.
I have to
using the
say,
Dragon Balls
though,
to wish back Koopa's
when I
father.
saw the
Dragon Ball
clip
doesn't have too many
in the
heartfelt
Spanish
moments
dub,
like this, but when they hit,
I teared up even more.
Also, the Pilaf King shows back up. It's really funny, but they don't add much other than to give Goku another outfit and make American audiences super uncomfortable. Also a playable character in Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
The Red Ribbon Army arc may not appeal to all Dragon Ball fans, but for many, this saga is the whole package. Action, adventure, comedy, with a sincere emotional finale over 100 chapters in the making. A hallmark for the franchise.
Kinda wish.
Also Husky.
Oh, Hasky.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right before they start revealing the top 5, I don't want to get spoiled. But, yeah, those were the number 7 and 6. I did have the 22nd Budokai and the Red Ribbon Saga, like, in my top 5. And honestly, I thought, no, actually, the Red Ribbon Saga was like my honorable mention, because I say that it's like one of the most underrated sagas in all of Dragon Ball, especially Dragon Ball, like the first, original Dragon Ball. But I'm surprised that it made it higher than the 22nd Budokai. Yeah, they didn't really have that much to say against the 22nd Budokai. Like the character arcs in specific to like Ten Shinhan, Mutant Roshi, as Jackie Chun were good. The fights were very well choreographed, and for the Red Ribbon arc, it had pretty much a little bit of everything. You know, it had adventure, it had the drama, fights here and there, emotional moments. You know, Upa losing his father and Goku reviving him again, and then Goku seeing his grandpa again after I don't know how long it has been since he died. I don't know if I said this while the video was playing, but I kind of wish they had found a way to bring back Gohan, you know, be part of the, you know, the show in some way. It was a very emotional scene. And yeah, so now we're going into the top 5. I'll check that in another time. But yeah, so far so good. Let me know what you guys thought of these entries so far. Do you or do you not like the Ribbon arc? And yeah, so leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Adios.